I love Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday. The one time of the year where you could dress up and go get candy or go out and do some tomfoolery with some of your closest friends. To me, nothing will ever beat the feeling of coming back from school, seeing all the decorations people have outside, and getting home just in time to see all your favorite shows doing their Halloween specials. Or hell, all the programs that only air or made sense to watch during the Halloween season. From Goosebumps to Treehouse of Horror to fucking Scary Godmother, I consumed anything and everything Halloween related that was thrown at me. Constant reruns of classic slasher movies, playing video games that damn well no young kid was meant to play or can even begin to properly understand.
The truth is, I hated you. I wanted you out of the way. I wanted my life back.
James, if that were true, then why do you look so sad?
But then came a time when I pretty much watched everything that was available to me. So one day while I was talking to my cousin about this situation, he would then go on to shut me up and show me a trailer for this new movie he was so excited to show. What was once thought to be a once-a-year type of event has now transformed into an anytime I wanted thanks to the internet. If you were there for the early stages of this godforsaken platform, you would remember it being a place where anything and everything was uploaded. From someone being stuck in the catacombs, desperately looking for a way out, to whatever this fucking was. These videos would begin to fill up my spare time. As weirder the videos got, the more I wanted to watch. Now, a majority of it was pretty trash, I'm not gonna lie. Like, let's be honest here, your average creepypasta wasn't necessarily the peak of cinema, as it would usually take like 3 seconds of thinking to have the story come crumbling down. But sometimes there would be some truth to these stories told online. Among the stories about haunted video game cartridges and puppets that don't want to be hugged were videos that told real life stories and events. From surviving cults, to some of the strangest things found on the internet, to some music albums that just display the slow gradual progression of dementia. Like a moth to the flame, I'm always attracted to these type of videos year round, just to use as a daily reminder why I shouldn't go outside. So imagine my surprise when about a month ago, I found this story about this guy who murdered his entire family using Lego. Huh? Cause yep, that's what we're talking about. That's the video. Oh my god, it's really, it's fucking really tasteless. The act of committing a crime with the aid of a miscellaneous item isn't really outside of the realm of possibility. There's been several real crimes that have been committed using stuff that just doesn't initially come to mind. From a Maricopa man assaulting his wife by hurling french fries at her, to a man throwing a fucking alligator through a Wendy's drive-thru window. The world is just a very unpredictable place. Of course, there's a lot worse examples out there, but let's not worry about those right now. Let's talk about the very obscured murder case where the murderer used Lego as a weapon. If you were lucky enough to grow up watching cable television, you would remember coming across and watching one of the hundreds of Lego commercials in your lifetime. Just like every other toy commercial that has ever existed, it didn't matter whether you were interested in the item or not, you were still exposed to it growing up. And no one out there did it any better than Lego did. Kind of a hyperbole, I'm not gonna lie, but you know what I mean. For some reason, no matter what specific set it was advertising, these commercials just had that aura that brainwashed children into buying these sets, regardless of their parents' financial situation. It was one of those type of commercials that you would just randomly remember one night, just cause. But towards the mid-2010s, Lego would seemingly just throw away their golden goose. They didn't get rid of commercials altogether. No, that wouldn't happen for another 5 years or so. But what they did instead was change the voice actor for the commercials.
In Lego City, the construction workers are ready.
Need heroes to catch him. Use the powerful new police off-roader.
I don't think it would be insane for me to say, but some of the most memorable parts about those old Lego commercials was that voice. I don't even need to play the clip. You can just see this image and you already know what he's going to say. But it wasn't just the voice. There was quite a noticeable dip in quality where it felt more corporate, for any lack of a better word. A company struggling to find its footing in marketing its product to appeal to a wider audience isn't really a new idea. Nor a company taking something that's already working and just throwing it out in the cold rain. Lego just threw away the guy that's been doing their commercials for close to 2 decades, for no reason. And as a little goober who noticed it, I just didn't pay any mind to it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're just like me who noticed the change back in the day, said, oh well, and went back to gambling for a specific Pokemon card. But after going down the rabbit hole, apparently that's not the case at all. Far from it, actually. The reason why there was an abrupt change was because the guy who voiced the commercials just went crazy and committed a crime. Yeah, sorry to break the news, but the person who voiced the LEGO commercials for a better part of 2 decades just snapped one day and killed his entire family. Yep. It's said that when the local police department arrived to the scene, they just found their lifeless remains on the floor, while the guy was over on the corner murmuring to himself. When he was placed under arrest and taken into questioning by investigators, he would not only confess to the crime, but also would reveal the reason why this all took place. He would go on to say, "I've just been dealing with a lot of stress as of late. The loss of my dog, 4 moves in the span of 8 months, and now over the past couple of months, I've been struggling to provide for my family. They don't acknowledge and see the stuff I have to go through to provide for them. And no matter what I do, it's seemingly never enough. For my kids, and especially for my wife. There was only so much I could take. The voiceover scene is rough. One day they tell you that you got the part, and the next day they just forget you ever existed, and those who do remember you try to take advantage of you. They try to take advantage of your work, of your talents, of your skills by underpaying us, cutting every corner they can until they're just through with you. And as a person who can't afford to say no, you had to deal with all their bullshit every day. And so when I heard that my only manageable form of income was ripped away from me without them talking to me, I just didn't know what to do. I had to escape. I couldn't deal with it anymore. I had to do something. And in my drunken state, I lashed out. I lashed out to the only people I truly cared for. I tried making it fast and painless for her by using a chain. But when the chain snapped, I used some plastic toys that the company used to give me for free, as I tend to whittle them into sharp points for yard work. And I just didn't stop until her body was lifeless, which is when I made my way to the kids' room. It just all felt like a bad dream that one second I'll wake up from. It's not entirely new to hear that the worst things people can do come as a result of pent-up frustration for their current situations in life, whether it be caused by financial or emotional reasons. This story just goes on to be another case of people who were just at their limit. A cautionary tale of losing oneself all because you avoided going to therapy or literally doing anything that revolves around talking to someone. A truly tragic tale, if any of it was real. Yup, everything you just heard was all fake.
It never happened.
So one day while researching for another feature video that will probably not see the light of day for another 6 months, I came across a video that just caught my eye like nothing else that night. I came across this video with the juicer himself
Harry Potter?
in that one meme format of people who do and don't know. Listen, I'm not going to play the audio because of copyright, but if you ever seen a meme like this, well, congratulations, because you've now seen this one too. I just remember seeing this for like a couple of seconds and being fucking confused, as I had no fucking idea to what the fuck this post was talking about. And the comment section did not help at all. The comment section was filled to the brim with people saying stuff like, "Bro, I just forgot it," and "Dude, I'm 16 and even I know about it." There was several people saying how this post just ruined their night and how they have PTSD from when they originally read about the event. And I was just so fucking lost. But there was also another problem. Absolutely no one wanted to fucking explain it. There was just people saying they were too traumatized to explain what happened.
Oh, shiver my timbers! Shut up, man!
Or that it was just too long to even explain. And me being very intrigued into the topic in hand because what the fuck did I just stumble upon? I decided to look more into it by asking questions. But for the majority of it, it was really hard to look into it, because for the most part, the comment section was 40% traumatized gatekeeping and 40% people having no idea what the fuck was going on. But there was in fact a group of people making up that remaining 20% trying their best to inform people about the situation. They would go on to say the story of the guy who used to voice the old LEGO commercials, got fired, went crazy, and did what he did while using LEGO pieces that he whittled into makeshift shivs. Cause the story has to connect back to LEGO somehow, I guess. But when asking these guys any sources to their information, all of them just said that it came from an old Reddit thread back in 2016. And it was in that moment, when I went to the search bar and typed in LEGO Murder 2016 Reddit, when I realized, holy shit, this is just a bad creepypasta. Yeah, just like most things on the internet, the goofier it sounds, the stronger likelihood that it may just be some fanfiction that a 14-year-old uploaded onto Reddit while on their lunch break at school. Just like tales on why you shouldn't walk out at 3 AM alone, or whatever the fuck the lore was to this guy. It was all fake, just to be this generation's equivalent of sharing spooky stories around a campfire. But like, come on, like you can tell the story was fake a mile away because of the fact that the person's name was never mentioned once. We live in a funny time where someone can say like one sentence and become a household name overnight. People can one day just be living in their own bubble and then one day be known by terminally online people around the world, even for doing evil things. It's not hard to see that the internet likes to obsess over the worst people society has to offer. And in the online scene, trust me when I say that a story involving Lego being used as a murder weapon in a very comical fashion would not go obscure for years, especially in the 2016 timeframe where this story is said to have taken place. No, this fucking dude would have been a folklore legend among internet people. His name would have been turned into a meme among the likes of Jeff the Killer or Howard the Alien. So the fact that the guy's name was never brought up is kind of funny because the actual guy who voiced these commercials is David Bateson.
Hey, you can build the new police station and lock them up in the prison block. The new police collection from Lego City.
This is the downstairs living room. It is most commonly used for watching television and other recreational purposes.
Yep, the guy who was in all those Lego commercials was Agent 47 himself, and he's currently living his best life, which immediately just ruins the facade of this tragic tale when you can just Google the guy who was the actor and still see him alive and well, with his family, that has no children from the looks of it. So there goes all of that. But if you want to keep looking even further than that, another simple Google search into the event literally results in nothing. There is no existence of this long lost Reddit thread that had the original story up. And there is not a single article talking about a murder with Lego even being involved in the past decade. Which brings us back to the original post. Why the fuck would you go through all the effort brainstorming ideas, editing this meme, and posting it online? Okay, yeah, I'm joking. Clear reason why this is even a thing is just for engagement bait. That's pretty much it. Which is kind of disrespectful because there is a real case of Lego products actually being used to solve a murder case that went unsolved for 23 years. In 1991, the death of Lucille Johnson came as a shock to the residents of Salt Lake City, and left the local police department puzzled as there was no one suspected of committing the murder. As they arrived on the scene, all they managed to find were Lego pieces scattered around the entryway of her living room. Fast forward 23 years later, it's now 2013, when the case would later reopen to investigators who would test the residue under her fingernails and fingerprints found on the Lego pieces themselves to find those who committed the acts. If you want to know the rest of this, I suggest you go to the article in the description, because it's just a quick read. So yeah, Lego has been involved in a murder case, but not in the over-the-top fashion this creepypasta would have you believe, but more in the mundane, yeah that makes sense type of way. So yeah, that's the story of how Lego was involved in a murder case, both the fictional and non-fictional way. So I guess the moral of this story is to not procrastinate and watch Instagram Reels up until 4 AM.